Hey everyone, Justin here. The Ultimate Descriptive Writing Challenge deadline is coming up, and I've been working on not one, but two entries. Both describe my camping trip last summer, but they kind of have totally different vibes. We'll read them both, and you go ahead and write down words you would use to tell me the feeling each draft gives you. Ready? Here's the first one. The pines stood tall overhead, their branches swaying gently in the evening breeze. The wind drifted through camp, wrapping around me like a soft hug. A half-melted marshmallow clung to my stick, stretching like a moonbeam. Sparks from the fire floated upward, twinkling in the air like tiny stars. I sank into my sleeping bag, watching the last flickers of firelight and feeling nature all around me. And here's the second. The pines loomed overhead, their tangled branches blocking out the last traces of sunlight. The wind snuck through camp, curling around my neck like a cold hand. A half-melted marshmallow clung to my stick, stretching like a ghostly web. Sparks from the fire shot upward, vanishing into the darkness. I huddled deeper into my sleeping bag, staring at the last flickers of firelight. Interesting, right? Even though both drafts describe the same trip, they feel totally different. Every time someone reads something, there's this exchange happening between the writer and the reader. There's what I'm expressing as a writer and how I express it, and then there's what you feel as a reader and why you feel it. That's because every piece of writing creates a mood for the reader and shows the tone of the writer. Today, we're learning about mood and tone to make our descriptive writing even better. Let's get into it. Got your notes? Good, because we're jumping right into mood. By mood, we don't mean when you see something relatable and say, ugh, big mood. And we don't mean how you feel right now, like if you're in a good mood or a bad mood. When we talk about mood in writing, we mean the feeling a writer creates for the reader. So how do writers create a mood? Well, it all comes down to the word choice used to describe the scene. Word choice is the purposeful selection of specific words to express meaning and emotion in writing. Think about it. When you add imagery, figurative language, or any details to your writing, the specific words you pick affect how the reader will feel. Take another look at my drafts from earlier to see how my word choice creates two different moods. How did you describe the feeling of the first one? Cozy? Peaceful? Whimsical? Why does it feel that way? Describing the branches as swaying gently creates a relaxed feeling. So do words like drifted, floated, and sank into my sleeping bag. Through some similes, I compared the wind to a hug, a marshmallow to a moonbeam, and the campfire sparks to tiny stars. The word choice throughout this piece makes it feel peaceful and a little bit magical. What about the other draft? Highlight some words and phrases that create a very different mood. In the second draft, the branches are looming, tangled, and blocking the sunlight. Now they feel strange and threatening and not at all gentle. Then, personifying the wind to sneak and comparing it to a cold hand is extra creepy. And the simile about the marshmallow could make you lose your appetite. I'm sure you found even more words that build up this eerie, spooky mood for readers. Word choice impacts the mood a lot. It's the same night, but in one description the reader feels great, and in the other they feel on edge. And this brings us to tone. In writing, the tone is the attitude of the writer. Since you can't hear a writer's voice when you're reading, how do you figure out their tone? We look at word choice again. But in this case, we ask ourselves what those words reveal about the writer's personal feelings toward their topic. We can also look at the sentence structure, the way words and punctuation are arranged. Exclamation points show enthusiasm. Don't question marks create curiosity? Periods can be serious. And sentence length shows us how quickly the writer jumps from one idea to the next, cluing us into their attitude. Take another look at the first description to see what I mean. Which of these words describe the writer's tone or attitude about this whole camping experience? I would say the writer seems appreciative and calm. But why? The soft hug, watching the last flickers of firelight, and feeling nature all around me show the writer is super content and appreciating everything. And when you look at the whole style and structure of this paragraph, you notice it's full of figurative language and long, flowy sentences that calmly float from one idea to the next. These poetic, unhurried sentences make the writer seem calm. So, in this example, the tone of the writer is appreciative and calm, and the mood created for the reader is cozy, peaceful, and whimsical. But what happens if the tone changes? That is, if the writer's whole attitude is different. Read this draft and write words to describe the writer's tone. The pines stood tall overhead, their branches swaying gently in the annoying evening breeze. The wind drifted through camp, because that's what wind does, wrapping around me like an overly long hug. A half-melted marshmallow clung to my stick, and to my fingers, and to my chin and sweater sleeves. Sparks from the fire floated upward, twinkling in the air like tiny stars, which I admit was kind of cool. I sank into my sleeping bag, watching the last flickers of firelight and feeling nature all around me. Obviously. Okay, I'd say this tone is mildly irritated, sarcastic, and unimpressed. Can a breeze be annoying? According to this writer, yes. What else reveals the tone? The uninspired observation of the wind, the overly long hug, and the one-word conclusion, obviously, makes it clear. And look at the mix of short and long sentences. The marshmallow mess is written in quick, choppy bursts, like the writer is so over it. But the one about the campfire sparks is longer, like it's more thoughtful. Now, notice the mood is still pretty cozy, but the writer is more unimpressed than appreciative of this peaceful scenario. So, what does all this mean for your writing? Just remember that mood and tone work together to shape how readers experience what you describe. And both of these come from all the little decisions we make about our word choice and sentence structure when writing. What are you waiting for? Go and try it out. I'll see you next time. Hey.